Let's take care of our mind, proper attitude. Start class. From the Makudami Shakti. Thank you, translators, again for joining. Good. Today, let's take a few minutes to focus inside on how we feel. Nothing dramatic, eh? We will go back in the past today to look at our life. Whoever is not yet 30 years old, you will be thinking about the last 5 years of your life. Whoever is beyond their 30s, you'll be thinking about your 30s. From 30 to 50, about, there's a period of your life that was the most pleasant, the most enjoyable, and you were not physically intoxicated or screwed up. Try to find the best period of your adult life where you were also physically healthy. You might be in it. And those who are not 30 yet, you think about the last 5 years. Okay. During the young adult life, there's a period of time where we feel great. We don't realize it, probably, but we feel great. And we're physically healthy and functional. We will want to focus on the best time of our young adult life, 30s to 40s, maybe 50s if you really had a shitty adult life. Because in the future, if we want to help the body regress to a past state, we have to build a reference to something great where mentally, emotionally, and physically we feel good. Okay? So if you are in that period, focus on it, or focus on 5 years back and use that. But if you are beyond 40s, my preferred time is 40, 42. Physically, I was healthier at 32 than 42. But emotionally and mentally, was a distressing time, and I intoxicated my body with alcohol, uh, not constantly, but often. So it will be hard for me to focus on that time and tell my human body, hey, go back there. In a period of party, mentally and emotionally, we think it was good times, but your body did not enjoy it. Maybe your body enjoyed feeling cared for, having friends, but the toxins and the poisons, it's not a good memory for the body being sick. So, intoxicating periods are not well advised. We want to find a place in our young adult life where we were as functional as possible on every possible plane. So, physically, happy, healthy, in shape, emotionally and mentally, we can resolve that. Emotionally and mentally, we can do personal growth, visantara, swastika, forgiveness. Lately, I gave a class on forgiveness. If you can apply it to others, you can apply it to you. Forgive yourself for choices you've made. There are many secrets, or let's not call them secrets because we want them to be known. There's many techniques to help the body rejuvenate or go back to a past state. But these will not work if one of your planes is heavily charged against that period of time in your life. For me, going to my 30s, I was physically, emotionally, and mentally challenged by an intense amount of work, supernaturally maintaining myself alive through trials multiple times. It was a performance period of my life, but there's too much heavy references to difficulties, sickness, conflict, that my ego will not prefer that period. Like, if I could go back in a period of my life, would I go back to that? No. So, even if you felt great with friends and you partied a lot, remember the impact on your body and how you felt those worst times. With all of that explained, choose the best moment in your life where one of your planes maybe had a challenge, but it was the least challenging time of your adult life. And it's a time you think, with some personal growth, I could go back there. Okay? And then you apply personal growth to whatever remains. That is trialing. It is normal that at every period of life there might be a challenge. That at every period of life there might be a trial. It is normal that there was always something going on, that you can't find a place in time where in your body, your heart, and your mind you can think that was absolutely perfect. If you can, please do. Then from this time, you're going to extend range and resolve before and after it what remains to resolve to make that period even more interesting for your ego. So focus on that. Focus on that period that for you is the best of your adult life. And if you're not in your 30s yet, in the last 5, maybe 10 years, but 5 is good, recent. Simply because when we apply the techniques of awakening youth again, if you try to go in your 20s, it's going to be super hard for the technique to apply. I would say none of the specialists of longevity did it. And I'll explain why. When we are in our 20s, we don't have the maturity of the 30s and the 40s. Now, as we age, we believe we're always more mature. But we have to admit, we still did not know life and its challenges early 20s. We just did not. But it was a great period. But it's not a place where our human will want to come back when you're way beyond that. The hormonal surges, the body having still some changes, adapting to the challenges that are present. Also, when we are in our early 20s, we look at the future with a form of uncertainty or ignorance. We don't know what's going to happen. So even if it was a great period of your life and you were not challenged, it is not a period where you felt really in power. It's a period where you were looking forward, wondering what you were going to do, or if you knew what you were going to do, so certain, and the plans broke. It is extremely rare that someone is in a state of absolute charge of themselves, that can find their power, and they were in their early 20s. There is always a feeling of power when you were young. But the true sense of understanding what is life is about is a bit later. So for us to apply any technique to go back, to bring the body back in time, basically we don't regress in time. We can find a way to reawaken the memory of the best period of life for our body, where the body felt, I could be that age forever, or I'm not promising immortality here, extremely rare, but longevity or more comfort in the body. It's not enough in our mind to say, I was good. The body needs to feel it. That was a good period. That's why periods of sickness, unless, like myself, I was functional in life, but I had sickness all my life, genetic condition. So I take the best period I have. So the period I chose is my early 40s. So not even my 30s for myself. Too many emotional and mental challenges for me in my early 30s, but it might not be the case for you. And too much pressure in the body. So once you know the best period of your adult life, you focus on what remains to resolve. What could I clean? Any potential? I had difficulty managing fibromyalgia when I was in my 30s. In my 40s, I was an ace. I could spend months without symptoms. I have released the need to take alcohol, so I matured, I grown up, and I found joy in simple things. Mentally, emotionally, it's the best for me, early 40s. But what is remaining to resolve? Okay, so what were my challenges? Now you think about yours, and you sink in it. What are the feelings mentally, emotionally, and physically that I have to resolve to make this period of life that I chose so perfect, so ideal? The objective is to bring my ego now, my identity now, to think it is so much better how I was at that time that I couldn't go back there. If you think now I am much better than before, it's good for now, but your identity will have trouble reawakening the youth that you have. So you resolve what is the trouble in your body, your heart, and your mind that would make you, I never want to go to that state again. So you already pick a good spot and you resolve what remains. When we do this, we do a past contemplation. Did I have trouble mourning what I was losing? Was I proud and defiant as a human? Did I like to challenge others? Was I arrogant? I mean, just remember, the more you do personal growth, of course, the more in the past you were arrogant or with an ego, of course. But basically, mourn the battles that you have won or that you have lost. Mourn the battles of that time. Enough for your human now to say, clear of the ignorance, cleared of my arrogance, my immaturity. Physically, this is the best moment. And morally, I can be clear of the trials of that time in the past. You're going to start contemplating Urva Yuvan. I'm going to check if there's any comments here. Kurva Yuvan. It means young adult. Like I said, if you are before your 30s, you observe yourself now or in the last 5 years, and you take what is the best. I understand that. Purya Vayuvan. I don't see it here, so let's. Good. If you have the luck of gaining this wisdom before your 30s, you can apply it to now or your best in the last few years. And if you ever find a better spot, a better place, then you readjust with that one. But you build a focus to this place in your body and you focus on Purva Yuvan. It means young adult. Purva means young, and Yuvan means young, out of context. Okay, so Purva is a period of life when we are children. Okay, Yuvan means adult and young compared to the elders or the golden age people. Okay, the old people. Yeah, whatever that means. Okay. When you combine Sanskrit words in that context, it refines what it means. So Purva Yuvan means young adult. Okay. Often someone tells about the telomeres in the DNA in the cells. In your DNA chain, there's the 22 chromosomes, and there's many more protein components called telomere. And every time a cell goes to mitosis, there's a chance a telomere at the end will break and then have one less. And when there is no more telomere at the end of a DNA chain, that cell will not reproduce again. So one of the secrets of science is protecting the telomere chain or regenerating it. So that's something that science observes. But the truth is, explaining to you the natural mechanics in your cells does not allow you to experience what it is. So little it is. And before science knew about DNA and telomeres, the practices of rejuvenation, they worked, and they were practiced by those who succeeded. It does not make us immortal. It simply extends the lifespan, or it makes us more physically functional while we have a normal lifespan. So you have to let go of everything scientific that is clogging your modern Cartesian brain, your educated brain, about cells and how it's supposed to be. Because in general, if you eat healthy food, your body feels healthier. And this is the objective experiences you have. If you eat a lot of fat and sugar and take various intoxicants, your body feels bad about it. You don't need to understand the chemistry behind it. You have to go to the most obvious things you can feel. Our nervous system, our own mind, has never really seen inside a cell or what a vitamin is made of. Yes, a few rare people understand the science and have seen it with tools, but it is not really what the body experiences. The body does not have those experiences. The body is just, before science, there's just nature and how we feel. So we want to release the mind control. Like, if I just think about youth and the science very hard, it will come back. It's not about Cartesian thinking. It's about experiencing health, experiencing youth, prime, power, feeling in charge, feeling strong. And you practice Purvayuvan to remember and encourage this powerful experience in your body. But your heart and your mind has to also participate. So whatever was hard on yourself, forgive it, mourn it, resolve it, so that the body's greatness can rise. The period of your time that you also had the most physical, healthy fun, training good, affection, you felt cared for, the period of your life you had the best sexuality, the moments of your life you had fun in various ways, in a healthy way. Uh, if you have heartbreaks of the time, for example, a period where sexuality was very pleasant, but that's over. You have to mourn that, or else your body will be challenged if it's just pain and suffering and heartbreaks. Nourish in your memory and in your body the best that you can awaken. Purvayuvam. Have the body just go back to that state. And you're in your personal growth, in your mantra practice, in your rejuvenation techniques, your body will go back. It will do its best with the resource it has. That's the point. Purvayuvam. If we combine with yesterday's practice, Om Namah Kundalini Shakti, being inspired by the goodness and all the good work I've done on myself and all the kindness that I've done, Om Namah Kundalini Shakti, that radiates. Punar Nava, Purvayuvan, regenerate my body as a young adult, regenerate me as a young adult. You can combine these techniques. But the wisdom of Purvayuvan is awaken the physical experiences. When your articulations had good cartilage and good lubricant, so they felt good. When your digestive system could handle anything. When you felt emancipated with joy, Purvayuvan. So it's a mix of personal growth and good feelings and you nourish it. You remember the hormonal rushes in your teenagers, the confusion, the shame about sexuality? It might come back. The hormonal states of this performant animal might make you into a hunter again or aggressive again. Resolve it. Embrace your wisdom and your sense of responsibility. Lucky for you if you are in that period right now, because you can get the wisdom. And for later in life, allow yourself to remember how wonderful it feels. We will now add to this. Think about the earth element, the concept of things appearing, of persistence, of continuity, of the energy of the earth that protects, and the resource that becomes abundance. Prithvi Bom, Om Prithvi Datu Bom Divya. You use the mantras you already know, anything. And the earth element, Purva Yuvan, you combine it, Purva Yuvan. Just focus that resource in the young adult. In a healed mental and emotional state, in a healthy physical body, an awakening of the youth in the body. Think about fire now, Tejas Agni, Om Tejas Datu Agnaya. Fire, Purva Yuvan. And offer that radiance, that energy, that transformation power into the body. Purva Yuvan. Now remember the taking of space in a respectful and compassionate way, of having space, and you heal if in the past you felt repressed. You feel that you have the right to take space. Vishwakasha. Om Makasharatu Shivaya. Purva Yuvan. The young adult emancipating, being useful, productive, performant, and having space for itself, not stolen from another. Purva Yuvan. The cohesion. Now the water element, Jalapsa, Om Mapsadatu Durgaya, where the hormones together, the biology here. Now you can have your science if you want. But remember, it's not what you know intellectually. It's natural experience, how it is felt. It's always good to have science, of course. Jalapsa, Purva Yuvan. Jalapsa, Purva Yuvan. Having the body function, the cohesion of every organ, of all the little fluids that work together inside. And the mechanics now, how the body moves, articulations, muscle, bone structure. This is how the body experiences movement with the element air. And the breath, of course, the heartbeat. Pranavayu. Om Vayu Datuan Mantai. Purva Yuvan. Pranavayu Purva Yuvan. motion, mechanics, dynamics, causality in the body. As a young adult, Pranavayu Purvayuvan. The practice of Purvayuvan makes a space for the human ego to accept, yes, I can go there. For the very young people, so those before the 30s, you can produce for yourself a moment. This is a great feeling to be in. This is something I can learn the wisdom, where I can resolve the issues, where I can grow. So, like a gamer would say, it's like making a save game or a save point. Well, yeah, if you want. And for those who are beyond that time, you already have a save point. You remember how it felt. You make a reference to your best time and you resolve what would not want to go back. And you go back there. Good. Now that the elements are settled in, we'll proceed to the sum of all elements and the feeling of God in your soul, of understanding some of it in your mind, of having revelations in your mind, of feeling the grace and the joy in your heart, and all these magnificent resources in the body. Kanakayota, the golden light. Everything as a resource unified. Kanakayota, Orvayuva, the philosophical stone, the focus on the experiencing of a young adult body. Orvayuva, Kanakayota, Orvayuva. Om Namah Kundalini Shakti, Kanakayota Purvayuvana Vaham Avaham. Use what you have learned. Combine the techniques when it has to do with healing, with youth, with resource, with functionality. If in that best time you chose, you were arrogant, add Visantara, add Swastya in that. Be humble because you want to have the most wisdom, and that is not your old time, that's your recent time. You want to combine the best wise moments of, of the recent years and the best healthy moments of that save point or checkpoint in your young adult life. You're gonna have to work on yourself for the Purva Yuvan to manifest. Okay. Some of you have worked with the art of the Vajrabuddha. Okay. So if you incarnate the body, I go fast because I'm not teaching it. But Nazvin, you pay attention to the body. Viveri, nature awakens. Garima, feel your mass. Shanti, accept what is in order to manifest what is. Rasavada, the secrets of alchemy, Kanakayota, the philosophical stone, the golden knife, Siddhyaroganam, the healing of the body, perfect health, Siddhyaroga Rim, health through purification, Sadhajiva, eternal life, Amritayus, the waters of immortality, Purvayuvan, Purvayuvan, Purvayuvan. Each of the various practice I note require an initiation for it to come. And you apply it to Purvayuvan. And Purvayuvan requires also that practice, that personal growth, that work on yourself. Let us awaken another form of integrity, power, intensity. Om Vajramanataya Swaha. Purvayuvan. Om Ishanaya Yantraya Swaha. Purvayuvan. Om Jidrashyatra Shivaratna Swaha. Purvayuvan. Om Haya Vajramanataya Swaha. Purvayuvan. Om Namasamanta Vajranamham. Purvayuvan. Om Magnaya Yanmaya Swaha. Purvayuvan. Om Yota Hishandoga Shivataya Swaha. Purvayuvan. Om Sri Jaivaradaya Swaha. Purvayuvan. Om Marapachanandi. Purvayuvan. Om Purvayuvan. 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 Those who have a mala, you take your mala. We want to acknowledge the presence of that power in a form of enjoyment. So the mantra is Om Nama Purvayuna Purvayuvam Ram. Ram means to exalt, the highest form of joy. Om Nama Purvayuvam Ram. Together, slowly, Om Namah Purvayuvan Ram. Om Namah Purvayuvan Ram. Om Namah Purvayuvan Ram. Om Namah Purvayuvan Ram. Pause. Yes. Can we have someone write that in the screen, including mine, please? Start over from scratch. Om Namah Purvayuvan Ram. 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 Purvayuvan Ram. Namah Purvayuvan Ram. Om 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 Namah Purvayuvan Ram. Patience. Om Namah Purvayuvan Ram. 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 Namah Purvayuvan Ram. Om 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 Namah Purvayuvan Ram. With that practice, The personal growth, the mantras, every other technique you've charged, applied, cultivated, acting good to have a good Kundalini. The Shakti naturally is the Shakti you have without effort. And then you apply everything. Purva Yovam. And you allow your body to rest on that. Fall asleep on that. One mala. Like anything else, you can charge it 9 malas a day for 12 days. But it will work if you do the practice. It's emotional integration, taking responsibility, learning the Rishinaya. If an arrogant, violent person could cultivate that power, you would have immortal despots taking over the world. And it is not possible. It is only through the holiness of mind that you can eventually understand Kala Chakra, the wheel of time, and play with it a bit. This practice will use any resource, power of transmutation you've practiced, and alchemize your body. Rasavada. This class was a class of alchemy on one of the many secrets of immortality, or actually, it's relative immortality. It's just extending your lifespan or being more comfortable, having a younger feeling. Every saint will eventually die of something. Most mages will. Most mages will too. And then in class they would wonder, why do you teach transmutation? Why do you have these supernatural classes? What's the point? Well, guess what? When you have a class of shape shifting, or I teach you how to change the length of your fingers, maybe 1,000 of my students so far have done it. You know, a few millimeters in one hand, more, and a few millimeters less on one hand. Then you put your hand together, and they're different. And, now I just faked it. It's just I'm not going to practice now. But some of my students have learned how to, in 5 minutes, alter the shape of the hands, and then some the height of the entire body, 10 centimeters. Some of them have learned to change the color of their eyes. Why do we do that? It's not for aesthetic reasons. It's to practice your mind on altering physical mass, on affecting your body. We practice alchemy outside, changing the taste of a bottle of water, changing the amount of metallic of minerals in there, causing an apple to taste like banana or strawberry, even change the texture if you can. Some have made their apple become orange while it was still an apple. Why do I teach these things? It's to do it outside, to prove to your ego that you are changing physical stuff. So when you apply, Rasavada, the teachings of Alchemy, they work to a certain extent. And that extent is how much supernatural you've learned and practiced through objective, verifiable facts, not fantasies of angels talking in your head or the effect of stones and crystals you cannot measure. Actual change of color, texture, taste, validated by a partner who did something different and checked yours, with people who were present to see the physical changes. Objective facts is the only thing that matters in the application of the supernatural. Sorry for those who take classes online. It is in seminar that I teach this. These techniques are hard to teach. Maybe I'll teach you online, but you won't have necessarily someone with you to validate. And then the ego plays game. Did I do this? Did I really just create matter out of nothing? Did I just make something disappear and reappear? That if you're not objective, it doesn't work. God doesn't help. Okay. So stay grounded, stay objective in the practice of the supernatural. Only verifiable facts matter. Or else it could be fantasy. Ah, angels speak to me. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you're creative. All right. What about you, Van? Do your best. It's fun. Next class is Friday. Right? Next class is Friday, same time. I want you to have time to apply and I want you to have a break. Love you.